This clip is sponsored by Wash and Go, and that can only mean one thing. That's right, I'm surrounded by a sea of green. By now you should know that Wash and Go is the best way to look after your luscious locks. I mean, look at what it's done for mine. Fantastic. But you don't have to take my word for it. Just look at some of the 600 plus unreal reviews on their Amazon page. Linda from the United Kingdom says, well, it smells lush and leaves hair smelling fresh. Fantastic, Linda. Kindle customer JSB says, product arrived as advertised. Always very important. Always important to know that, Kindle customer JSB. And finally, my personal favourite, it's shampoo and it works for me. Absolutely fantastic there from Casey. It is indeed shampoo and also a conditioner. If you want to get your Wash and Go today, then hit the link in the description and get your bottle sent to you today. And remember, it's a shampoo and it works for me. You know what? We're used to this, and you know, whether you take into the result today, the result on Tuesday, where we're heading as a club, what we did in January, what's still to come, players that are going to leave. Donny van der Beek, Anthony Martial played well last night. I mean, Manchester United at the moment, they're making more mistakes. I don't know, Stevie Wonder in a crossword. Like, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous how embarrassing we are. I see people on social media before I go live. I just have a quick look to see if there's anything I want to add into the show. And I see people chatting about, if we get rid of Ronaldo and get this striker in and we get a new centre-back, I think we can really do well. And I'm like, do you actually sit down and watch Liverpool? Do you sit and watch Man City and Chelsea? You really think a striker and a centre-back is going to make that shower of crap into title contenders? Our immediate focus is to try and compete with Villa and Newcastle. I'm telling you now, mark my words, our immediate focus is to try and protect fourth over the next 18 months. And the Glazers will be aware of that as well. The club is an absolute shambles. I've got no interest in infighting amongst United fans, because right here, right now, if you're not scared about where this club's going and you're interested in arguing amongst yourselves, then you're a part of the problem. This is not now about, oh, Goldbridge said this, or he said that, or you said this, or he likes him, or he doesn't like that. This is far bigger than highlighting one or two players. This is a club in crisis. This is a club sinking. You know, we are the Titanic. In a couple of hours, we're going underwater. It's sinking fast, and moaning and arguing about each other is not going to help us. Highlighting that, I find it amazing. I find it absolutely amazing that people want to go, oh, he's the problem. The problem is the players that aren't good enough, of which there are many. And you've got to look at why those decisions were made. It's past saying Harry Maguire's the problem, Bruno's the problem, Rashford's the problem, Luke Shaw's the problem, McTominay and Fred are the problem, Ronaldo's the problem. There's even people who think De Gea's the problem. You're a bloody idiot. Absolute idiot. These problems are because we put a team out today full of favourites. We picked players because of favouritism. There was players sat on the bench who deserved to play in three positions ahead of three players, and they didn't get picked because of favouritism. Like, there is a massive problem at that football club, and it is from the top to the bottom. Mates are us. Mates Rates FC, Social Media FC, we're a bloody embarrassment. And where I want to tonight, because there's loads to get into, I want to talk about Donny, I want to talk about some of the comments from Rangnick, but the big thing that stood out to me today, as I just read some of your comments, of course Ronaldo is not the problem, but as a player with his ability, he's been appalling this year, Mark, and has to lead the team. No, he doesn't even. No, he doesn't, because you're making the mistake there. You're making the mistake. You know, next week when you're enjoying the Atletico Madrid trip, then even, I'll remind you why we're still in the Champions League. Because Cristiano Ronaldo's got us into the Champions League single-handedly with goals against Villarreal and Atalanta home and away. So, short memory, isn't it? You know, Ronaldo should be leading the team. Ronaldo should be scoring all the goals. It's all Ronaldo's fault. Bollocks. Absolute nonsense. Grow up and watch a game of football. Ronaldo's fault. He didn't play well. He's not playing well. But he's a man, like everybody else. And you want him to lead the team? Maybe the club should fucking give him the captain's armband then. Maybe you should be aiming your blame at the right place. How's he supposed to lead the team when a certain other player, who shouldn't even be bloody starting, is leading the team? He couldn't lead a pack of ants to a picnic, but he's leading the team. So you want Ronaldo to break ranks and take the captain's armband in the middle of the pitch? Yeah, right. Maybe have a look at what the real issue is at that football club. Lack of service, lack of fluidity. We're like a bloody bunch of strangers, mate. And I know I'm going in on even. I don't mean to. He's got an opinion, and I must remember that. I must try and be calm. But this matters to me. It matters to you. We're like a bunch of strangers. I watch us and we're like a bunch of strangers. If we don't finish top 4, do you think we'll sign players that are not social media FC? No. Sharath Kamath Fitness, they're always going to want to make money. One thing I want to ask, is Ronaldo forcing himself to drop himself that deep to get the ball? Why can't Rashford be bothered to run back to help Delo? Because it's not his job, Machelino. I mean, so now you're blaming him for Rashford's lack of ability to track back. If you're going to watch football and you're going to blame Ronaldo, please bring something constructive to the plate. Because I remember him today helping out Luke Shaw in the last 10 minutes. So, you're getting into things now that you're just going to depress the show and you're going to take us away from big things. Ronaldo should be tracking back to help Delo. I'm not getting into that sort of shit. I want to talk about big things here. So, for me, United are in big trouble. Deep trouble. And I've been saying this for a few weeks. But I think what we've seen against Burnley and fluidity is absolutely a problem for Manchester United. Now, it's well known that players in that first team, some of them don't like each other. It's well known. You know that's the case. There's dressing room unrest, and there's been dressing room unrest for most of the season. They don't like each other. But Andy Cole and Teddy Sheringham didn't like each other, and we won a treble. So the fact that these players cannot play for each other when they're playing a football match is disgusting. No one's asking you to go out for a curry. You're there to play for Manchester United, and they should be able to play together. They're like a bunch of strangers. When we see a movement, I notice it in the watch-along. Bruno might give it to Pogba, who gives it to Rashford, who puts a cross in, and Ronaldo nearly gets on the end of it. And we go, oh, brilliant, because it's so rare. I watched Southampton today for most of the game, pinging triangles, pass and move, getting shots off. The problem United have got is the board have screwed Rangnick over, and therefore they've screwed the fans over. When I was watching United today, and I go back to what I was saying, amazingly, Manchester United, I wouldn't say we're in a position of strength at the start of January, but Rangnick steadied the ship. We get into January, the January transfer window's open, players want to go, he wants a midfielder, and we go into January and we know we're in a race for top 4, but we're like, we need to use this January transfer window well. We came out, if you look at what we went into January with and what we came out of January with, we actually came out in a weaker position. Donny and Martial went. Obviously, the Greenwood thing was out of control, but we then kept players that wanted to go. Dean Henderson, Jesse Lingard, and we actually came out of January with a weaker squad and a worse morale. Well, and that was on the board. And then you look at it today, and it's 1-1, and there's 20 minutes to go. What's Rangnick got on his bench? He's got young, inexperienced players like Mabry and Alanga. He's got old, past-it players like Mata. I mean, Matic wasn't there, to be fair. He's got defenders that aren't going to help him win the game. And then he's got Jesse Lingard, who doesn't even want to be there. So that's Rangnick's option. Hasenhüttl looks behind his bench, and he's got players who want to be part of the squad. Southampton, for whatever their weaknesses are, they're a team, and Burnley are a team. Every other team in this league, bar Newcastle, they're into month 6th, and they know how they're playing, and they know what they're doing. And this is the disadvantage we've got now. If you think about it, since Rangnick came into the club, we've mainly played teams in the bottom half. Newcastle, Norwich, Southampton, Burnley, we've got Watford, we've got Leeds. We've mainly played teams in the bottom half, and they are playing against Goldbridge. That's the end of the clip. I'm sure you enjoyed it. In fact, I bet that's the best clip you've ever watched. So there's no reason not to subscribe to the channel. Click the bell icon so you never miss a clip again. In fact, smash a like on the video, because we all know only legends like videos, and you are all legends. So please smash a like on the video, and we will see you again on the next one. Thank you very much for watching, as always.